Hello everyone and thank you for joining me. Today, I wasn't exactly sure what fountain pen I wanted to use for my drawing, and as I was going through my, drawers of fountain pens that I have, I picked up the Jinhao A1 pen, and then I realized that I always looked at the Chinese versions but never actually used in one of my videos the Pilot Capless. So for today I decided to actually go with the Pilot Capless fountain pen, specifically the version that has the 18K nib. I believe this is like the cheaper-ish version of it because it's just a simple matte color. As a fun thing to my eyes in the video, the blue actually looks a little bit more brighter than in reality, probably because of the light setup that I have in here. So the blue looks very bright on the screen, but again, it's a little bit darker and has a little bit of violet to it, and it is a matte color. Fun fact, as I was holding the Jinhao version and then I picked up the Moonman and then I hold this pen as well, the Pilot feels like the lighter fountain pen from all of them. I didn't actually put them on a scale and measure them, but hand feeling, to me the Pilot feels a little bit, maybe slightly more refined and a little bit lighter. Still just as robust as the other ones, but anyway, small differences. The clip is kind of just as stiff, maybe ever so slightly a little bit more flexible, but not by much. As you open it, you will have an O-ring just like you have on the Jinhao version, and the clickety-clack sounds more or less the same. The only addition that you have to it is that if you're using the converter, the Pilot converter, basically you'll have those three little balls that will make a lot of noise inside of it. Most of it though, it's pretty much like the Chinese versions that, copies this specific Pilot fountain pen. Which one do I prefer the most? They all do the same job, they're all working in the same way, but the nib on this fountain pen, it's just exquisite. It is a very bouncy and happy and lively nib, to the point where I was actually a little bit afraid to press too much on it. Every time I was pressing, as you'll see me doing the writing sample in here, at the end when I'm doing the flourishing, I try to also to show that the nib can flex, and it does flex. It's just I would strongly recommend to be very careful with it. It is a very small nib, and I'm gonna make the assumption that you can easily sprung it, something that you definitely want to avoid, since it will be a little bit of a pain to actually fix these nibs, unless you know how to. So the funny thing was that every time I was trying to do the flex part, I had this sinking feeling because the nib feels so soft as you write, that I thought that every time I do the stroke down, I'm gonna sprung it. Fortunately, nothing bad happened. The other thing that I really like about the nib is that it's very juicy, maybe too juicy for my type of writing, and especially the ink I guess that I'm using for today, which is Monteverde Midnight Black. I haven't used this ink too much, maybe 2 times in the past. I usually like the other one that it's a little bit more gray, or something ash or something like that. I don't remember the name right now. So I was like, hey, let me try it out. If you don't know how to use these pens, basically in order to fill it up, you have to open the pen, remove the nib unit from inside of it, and then you use that to dunk it in your ink bottle and then fill it up as you would any regular converter fountain pen, or if you don't want you to use converter because the converter that these pens use is on the small size and a lot of people are literally hating it for whatever reasons. I have no issue with them. You can still use a cartridge with it. One thing that I don't remember with the Pilot fountain pens is that if you need to use the metal sleeve on the cartridge, I usually don't use the cartridge, I only use the converters, and with the converters you don't need that. I only have two Pilot Capless fountain pens, this and the other one a steel nib, which funny enough has a gold look-alike nib. So I have basically this blue, dark blue, blue-black, and a yellow-orange version. The nib, like I said, writes beautifully, pretty juicy for what it is, maybe more juicy than I like I mentioned. Reverse, surprisingly, on the Muji paper did not work properly. It was a little bit dry and skippy, but to my surprise, when I was doing the drawing, it worked actually pretty good. However, it does give you, or at least it did give me, a much finer line. Not much to say about the fountain pen. Even though it is pretty complex based on the construction that it has, you have a nib unit inserted in a section and I guess barrel with a clickety thing at the end, and a trap in there for the nib to keep it wet and not dry. Once everything is put together and you use it, it's almost like a ballpoint. It's just, click on, click off, and you're good to go. They're very simplistic in use from my perspective. So not much to say about them. It works well, it's balanced well, it is pretty much on the middle of the pen, as you've seen me doing the balance for it. And I like it a lot. I don't use it as much as I should, probably, but every time I use that, I always enjoy using it. And for today, I used it to do my first drawing with it. I never drew with it. I think I only used it for writing because I like the simplicity of it. You just take it out, click on, click off when you're done, and that's it. Personally, I never complain about the ink capacity or the converter that I have in it. However, if you're a person that writes way more than I do, or draws way more than I do when you're out in the field, maybe this is not the fountain pen for you. Usually when I use the ink for how long I was using it is mostly for work, when I'm taking notes throughout the day and keeping track of what I'm doing. That's what I would use it for. And now I think it has been upgraded and I will be using it for drawings from time to time. I was a little bit unsure on what paper I wanted to use it. There are a few different types of paper that I wanted to use. I tried them to see how it works, but because they're not cotton paper that absorbs the ink a little bit better and they're a little bit smoother, the ink was puddling when I was trying to put a line next to each other. So I decided to go with the cotton paper. And probably if I will ever use the pen, I will always stick with this cotton paper for this fountain pen, unless I find different type of paper that I will use. I'm kind of running out of Pilot fountain pens. I believe I have maybe 2 or 3 more, and that's about it. I don't plan to buy any more, at least not at this point in time. So soon I would have covered my entire Pilot fountain pen collection. I have one that I really like, but I guess I will keep that one as the last one, unless I buy other ones in the meantime, which I don't plan for. As for the drawing today, I'm not sure what I end up with. I'll be honest, I was more into the feeling of the pen and I kind of got lost into the details without actually paying attention with the overall balance and look and feel of the drawing. It almost turned out to be some sort of a older person maybe, I don't know, with a long beard and maybe a mustache, I don't know, and a funky hair. What I did like though, it's working on the details, and the pen worked actually really good for that. I used it a little bit on reverse. Using it on reverse for writing especially might be a little bit difficult because of the clip that it's positioned basically at the bottom of that section. While it doesn't work as a tripod, it definitely helps you guide your hand to make sure you keep the nib in the right position and it's not turned to the left or to the right. And that's another content point for some users. Some do hate that clip. And I actually have seen people doing modifications to their Pilot Capless fountain pens to remove the clip. That's extreme. I don't know if I would have the heart to do it. Plus, the clip doesn't actually bother me. If clip bothers you, probably one of the better options would be to go with the Moonman version that doesn't have the clip added. This way, one, you don't basically modify an expensive pen that I don't think you can modify back. And two, well, you will enjoy a capless pen without an actual clip, built from factory. The drawing took me about an hour and a half. Like I said, I really got lost into the details to the point that I stopped observing the whole drawing by itself. And at one point I stepped back and looked at the drawing and I thought I'm starting to ruin it. So while I didn't feel like I was done with the drawing and I wanted to continue with it, I forced myself to stop just because it felt that if I keep on adding to it, eventually it will just become a mass of black ink. Fun drawing though, fun working with this pen. I wanted to use a little bit of color on this one, but because of the paper, cotton paper doesn't really take much of watercolor other than ink. Pencils don't work very well, it would actually scrub the cotton. Markers don't work very well, it tends to bleed a little bit, so I have to find a different paper that I can use, even though I do love my cotton paper, and I'll keep on using it for as long as I like it, obviously, even though I don't think I'll ever hate it anytime soon. In the end, beautiful fountain pen. I love the Pilot Capless. If I have to choose one of the pens from all the capless pens that I have, Chinese or Japanese, yeah, I will definitely stick with my Pilot version. Anyway, I think I'll stop here. I've been rambling enough. Fun drawing, fun fountain pen. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you liked it. And I hope I'll see you next time. With that said, thank you for joining me. And I wish you nothing but the best, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.